Okay, this is episode 8 of this Elysium.
The theme on that pinball machine is a standard royalist theme, used on everything from pinball cabinets to full-flavor cigarettes.
What are its hallmarks?
Clinging to a picture book version of the past century, waiting for the king to come back and cast out all the profiteers and homosexuals. Basically, imagine a yellow plastic crown with a liquor brand emblazoned on it.
The idea of a king in a century gone is pretty fascinating.
The sentiment is called anti-centennial nostalgia, pining for a time before the turn of the century. It's common even now, after 50 years.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
Just do my job, man.
Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie, Mexican origin. The pin is an antique, quite special.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an alien skull, with 8 eyes. You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important.
You've never told me you've seen the phasmid.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
Ramblings? Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
But darling, I didn't even get the size of it right.
You were a child, my dear. Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden...
Wait, where was this and how old were you?
I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
Betancourt got bombed in the war. It used to be quite near, circa 20 kilometers from here.
What happened?
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it.
She had no fear, just surprise.
I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
Did you follow it?
I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there, knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Don't.
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed.
It did, yes. like reeds in a gust of wind.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble. It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing. If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago. It's no exaggeration to say that she restored my faith in my profession.
He looks at her with admiration, forgetting a wide smile on his face. You were on a date?
Our first, yes.
The old woman looks at her husband tenderly.
The glance is tender, yes, but tempered by something else. A thought she can't express, even to him.
It limbs are white?
Interesting.
Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
How big was it?
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
Maybe you imagined it, Lena.
How could she? Who imagines this? She didn't know about the phasmid. This is the main thing here, what makes it a confirmed sighting. She had no previous knowledge of the insect.
So she couldn't have made it up, or imagined it.
That's true, yes. I'm almost certain neither my mother nor my grandmother knew of it. It was only when I started telling my story as a teenager that boys would tell me, "Lena,
She lowers her voice, imitating a boy.
you trying to tell us you saw the Insulindian phasmid out there in those reeds? Get out of here." They just give me a cider and ruffle my hair and tell me to stop dreaming. But I saw it.
Kim, what do you think of this?
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
He closes his notes and gives her a simple smile.
But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up stories and then end up believing them.
Thank you for sharing this with me.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
So your husband is some kind of scientist?
Oh, yes. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise.
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends.
The lieutenant sounds unimpressed.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby.
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research.
The quality of research at Revacholian universities has been on the decline. But you doubt there was ever a time when cryptozoology was embraced by the academic elite.
Maybe you could convince her to tell you about some cool cryptids.
There's really no point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her work. Go on and ask.
Hey Lena, I'd like to hear about some of the cryptids you've studied. Could you just tell me about a couple of them?
Oh, I'd be delighted. Truth be told, I could really use the company too.
One cryptid, not a couple. One. This won't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza.
Okay, Kim, just one little cryptid, promise.
He nods and assumes a waiting posture. Cryptids, cryptids. Let's hear about all the interesting cryptids. Ooh, tough choice there.
Is this bird a cryptid? Point to the tie she gave.
No, it's the cryptid.
Wow, the cryptid.
Oh, yes.
A small silver skull shines between your fingers. Its beak sharp. Okay, what is this bird?
The eight-eyed teratorn, the largest flying avian ever discovered, with a wingspan of 11.5 meters. It was thought to have gone extinct 3,500 years ago. Some even doubted the fossils were real. A mutation, they said. Until...
Mutation? All of evolution is a mutation.
Until it was sighted by renowned Gotvaldian explorer and naturalist Uwe Plattenkalk in 21.
Uwe Plattenkalk.
This renown seems a bit dubious. Your own catalogue comes up completely empty. But, of course, you are not all-knowing.
I need to hear about this sighting.
It happened on a botanical expedition into the vast and unexplored Oamrau Canyon in southeast Ilmara. Dr. Plattenkalk got separated from his group during a sandstorm.
What happened?
Alone in the blasted desert heat, the doctor wandered eastward, where man hasn't stepped foot in over 1,000 years. Since the fall of Pericarnassus, he was lost, without any navigation equipment and desperately low on water. After a day or two, he noticed a bird high in the noon sky. A great blackbird. It seemed gargantuan. Every now and then, the bird would dive down to feed on an animal carcass somewhere on the horizon. But by the time Uwe got there, the Teratorn had taken off already, and the carcass was picked clean. This happened many times.
Eat the bird, Uwe. It's the only way to survive.
I understand. He started hunting it.
Yes, a bird that big has a lot of blood in it, and he was dying of thirst. For many days, Dr. Plattenkalk followed the Teratorn until they reached a great canyon wall where the bird finally landed to rest. The professor climbed up there with a rock in his hand. He found the bird sleeping with his head tucked under its wing, a great black pile of feathers on the perch. So he approached, slowly squeezing the rock in his fist. Then the Teratorn suddenly looked at him. He could see it had 8 eyes, 4 on either side of its skull, like a spider. And the man couldn't move. He was paralyzed, frozen into place with the rock in his hand. Whatever he did, he could not get closer to the bird.
Why?
The bird was controlling his mind. It kept him from approaching. He could step back. Every time he stepped forward, paralysis. Uva spent 3 days trying until the bird flew away. The 8-eyed Tetatorn was indifferent to him, as long as he didn't get closer than 2 steps. It even let him feed on some carcasses up there, and the 2 unfertilized eggs it left behind.
An 8-eyed mind-controlling bird. No way.
Yes way, sweetie.
Yes way.
Cryptozoologists have been tracing it ever since. But Wamrau is vast, mysterious, and holds many secrets.
Modern radar telemetry shows great promise. We will confirm this one by the end of the decade, latest.
This one I liked. Not only does it have 8 eyes, and is a living fossil, and the largest bird ever to live, it also does mind control.
He's sincere. He likes the audacity of it.
Okay, so it's never been seen again?
Sadly, yes. But there are numerous reports of 8-eyed bird skulls from Il Mara. And then there's the striking resemblance to the Pericarnassian imperial eagle, an ancient heraldic symbol that is hard to pass off as coincidence. The imperial eagle, too, had 8 eyes.
Not really. It's just stylization. The way they drew eyes. It's not a zoological drawing.
Very, very hard.
Very, very hard.
This one's very famous. Everyone knows it. People will be looking at that tie on you and thinking, that man is into cryptids. So, what else do you want to know?
This has been educational. Sadly, we need to discuss something else.
Of course, dear.
That's all for now, man.
I couldn't possibly shower thanks on you as enthusiastically as my wife has, but I am grateful for your assistance, officer.
He tries to play it cool, remain professorial, but inside, this man is itching for some news on those traps.
So I checked all the traps.
Good. Okay. And?
One of them was empty.
Completely empty?
The cryptozoologist's eyes grows wide.
Surprise, tempered with fear and trepidation. He doesn't know what to think yet.
Yes, there
Maybe
was nothing
you're
in the
joking.
trap. No locusts, no phasmid.
No locusts? No phasmid either?
That's not ideal, but...
He rubs his chin.
It just means the Insulindian phasmid is even more clever than we thought.
She's engaging in a well-known self-deception called motivated reasoning. You should correct.
Of course, more clever.
The detective whispers to himself.
Yes, the Phantasmadeia picked off the locusts and escaped. This is good news, though we'll have to reconsider the design of the traps, make them more secure.
Another trip to the reeds.
It's not very scientific to reason backward from a conclusion you want to be true.
I appreciate your concern, officer, but please leave this to the experts. Unless you have an alternative hypothesis you'd like to venture.
You're jabbing at the soft underbelly of his psyche. He realizes he's gotten defensive.
Actually, no. Excuse me for getting emotional. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now, and brought some great news too. My gratitude, and the gratitude of the Société Cryptozoologique de Ravachol, is yours.
Heartfelt gratitude. But does it feel like closure? What really happened?
Thank you, it's an honor. We should probably return to our main investigation here. This has been...
Helping cryptozoologists isn't really a priority for our organization, is it? The lieutenant looks out the window, impatiently.
Have you noticed anything off about your friend Gary?
No. No, of course not. Why?
Are you sure?
Well, He's been a little unenthusiastic about the trip. More so than usual. That's understandable. He just wants to get home and warm up.
I'll get going.
Can I help you?
Garth, I found a new bird for the whirling. Give him the ruffed grouse.
What is this thing?
The man takes the stuffed bird. I want to apologize for breaking the great skua by bringing you this ruffed grouse.
Okay. Okay, well, this is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy. I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess? So, I don't know. Thank you. I'm gonna go with thank you.
I feel good about our work here today. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
It's not actually about that, but he liked it.
Garth, I need to sing karaoke now.
No, you don't. It's not happening.
You need to approach this situation logically. Ask him why he has the PA system installed if you can't use it.
Why do you have the PA system if no one's going to use it?
It's for no one. It's a prop. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of 44.
What happened in 44?
A lot of people got killed because some arsehole wanted to sing karaoke.
It's not a prop, it's for your clients. I know it's used.
Okay, yes, it's for some clients.
I'm a real client. I've paid my bills and I have the right to use the karaoke machine.
Ha! Well, we don't have any tapes. They all got stolen.
It's alright, I have my own song with me. Give him the tape for smallest church in Saint Saints.
The man in the vest and the violet shirt stares at the tape you've just given him. He begins to frown. Hard.
Fine, fine. Climb on that stage and do your thing. Just get out of my hair. I'll plug it in for you. Damn this karaoke machine.
The stage is all set up for your performance. Feels silent. You can hear the pellets creak under your feet.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
Look around the room first.
There are some people out there, but mostly a post-meridian slumber has fallen on the premise. Not super lively. It would be wiser to perform in the evening, no? But the choice is yours. Yes, you can always do it in the evening. It will be less scary with a lot of people.
Look, Kim, I'm going to sing karaoke.
I can see that.
Elysium steps away from the stage, ready for your performance. Put your lips against the microphone, test it.
Immediately, a loud feedback noise startles the room. You feel like an amateur. How are you supposed to hold the mic? Should you just sing into it? Where should you stand?
Close to the mic, eh? Whoops. Drama. Where's drama? Play the actor, lie and detect lies.
The air is thick with anticipation.
Whoops.
The tape clicks into the carousel, and then the music starts. God, a lump's in your throat suddenly.
I would often go there to the tiny church there,
Great success.
the smallest church in Sansan. Now it once was larger. How the real may rest there, down through the mist there, towards the Seven Sisters. towards those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there in the tiny yard there. I have been so glad here, looking forward to the past here. But now you're all alone. None of this matters. And all.
I think my ears died.
Did you hear that? The most pathetic applause in the world, made of pity, no matter the time of day or how small the audience. This is a pitiful applause.
So you didn't like it, huh?
Your words echo in the karaoke mic. They sound sparse. The room is almost empty.
Quit yelling into the mic!
You hear from the union booth. I'm up here singing my fucking heart out, and it's not good enough for you fuckers.
You hear, or think you hear, uncomfortable shifting around. A bit of laughter maybe. No one saying anything.
I'm gonna unplug the mic now, okay?
You don't know what good singing is. This is real singing. I sang about real stuff.
That's it, I'm unplugging it.
He presses stop on the tape carousel. You hear a little whine of feedback, and then the mic dies in your hand.
Let's go, officer. These people wouldn't know a good performance if it beat them in the ass.
You liked it?
Detective Dubois, it was downright tragic. Now, let's go.
I mean it, he thinks. To him, being a cop in the RCM was truly expressed in that performance.
Put on the mic.
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law. I mean, officers.
Wow. Just wow. I hope you really enjoyed yourself up there. Had a cathartic experience. Because for the rest of us, that really sucked.
It's safe to say this is about your karaoke performance.
You don't understand my performance. Those high notes. I purposely shredded them to convey a stained, worn-out sentence.
I get it. You were purposefully shit. So original. I'm not letting anyone up there again. Ever. Now, what did you want?
Goodbye. I do believe I was great.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
We got the radio again.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Connect me to Jamrock Public Library.
Hold on, officer. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced you to the librarian. Connecting the call in 2.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer?
I'm looking for any information that you can provide on Billy Magine, a reader.
Billy Majon, you said. Give me a moment, I'll have to check our database.
He goes down the receipt.
On Moreau Drive in central Jamrock, in a darkened hall, lit by orange desk lamps far away from the noise outside. A middle-aged man taps commands into an old radio computer. A printout falls on the desk. Behind him, a lonely reader scours some dusty bookshelves, looking for a paperback.
Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Majon's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately.
They're too poor to have a phone line.
Yes, home address is fine.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. Cape Side Apartments, it says. That's all.
Do you have any other information on Billy Majon?
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day.
Do you know someone who was...
Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Majon? They returned a Tybalt book the other day.
You hear someone answer from afar?
Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87, but we don't have it yet.
Good. You have a name now.
So Billy Majon is a woman, not a man. How did your colleague know that it was her husband?
Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her.
Do you know the husband's name?
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight.
Can Marie describe to me what the husband looks like?
Marie?
A moment passes.
She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or two the last time she saw him.
What was he wearing?
1 second.
The librarian turns away from the phone again and relays the question.
Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that.
Thank you, that's all for me. I have no other questions. End call with the librarian.
Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer.
Librarian hangs up and calls gets redirected back to the station with a soft click.
Anything else you need from me?
I need to report a dead body on the Martinez boardwalk.
One moment.
You can hear her shuffling through some papers.
Can you please describe the body? Age, sex, cause of death?
An unidentified middle-aged man, height 170 to 175 centimeters, dark hair, medium build. Looks like he slipped, fell through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head against a metal bench.
We suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell. There were bottles all around him, and traces of vomit on his shirt.
Any signs of violence?
No, seems like it was an accident.
No field autopsy necessary.
She repeats.
What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes?
He was wearing boots, trousers and an old leather jacket with a bright blue lining. I found a library card from his pocket.
Any information on the library card?
It's from Central Jamrock Public Library. It belongs to someone named Billy Majon.
Good. You have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else?
We're taking the case.
I have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you?
I'm there with the radio for now.
57th, over and out.
Her voice disappears into the void.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers.
Close the door.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
Insert your ball.
Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now. Do you know what you should do with that money, kiddo? You should buy more alcohol. Enter the endless cycle of consumption.
Eight-eyed Terraton tie. Inland Empire Evolution.
box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. East Delta Commerce Center? This must be the name of the doomed commercial area. This button.
This button looks new.
What? Where is she at? Go to Billy John apartment to deliver the bad news. It's in the apartment building in New York, North, apartment 20. A balcony with a view of the yard and the hanging.
You see a young man on a balcony nursing a cigarette. His eyes have been following you for a while.
Not looking for any trouble, officer.
Despite the cold, his shirt hangs unbuttoned on his frame. Why are you whispering? It sounds like you're already in trouble.
There's no trouble. I'm just speaking in a lowered voice.
He says, sort of boss.
I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie if that's okay. I just want to finish my cigarette.
Don't let him go. This could be your witness. The balcony has a great view of the whole thing.
Actually, the gendarmerie really needs to talk to you.
Is it really that important?
He asks you, adjusting his shirt.
Like a nervous cat, he keeps stealing looks at the neighboring windows.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run.
By God, this young man has the body of a decathlete. His lithe form was practically made for vaulting over the high bar.
Son, do you train?
Occasionally. Why?
Nothing. You should give up smoking, son. It's not good for your health.
You're right. It's horrible for the skin. Very aging.
It takes another drag before shaking off the ash. I need to get inside this apartment building. Can you help me?
Help you? No, sorry, gendarme. I have to run.
Can you tell me your name?
My name? My name is Martin Martinez.
Yeah, right.
That's definitely not his real name.
You're not actually called Martin Martinez, are you?
No, of course not. Could you please lower your voice?
It's against the courtyard. It's silent. Silent to the bottom of the well. Every sound captured and reflected back. Looks like we got a good view of the Whirling's backyard. Can you tell me anything about the hanging?
I can tell that you finally got him down. Thank you. It was quite a disturbing sight, even by Martinez standards.
What were you doing last Sunday?
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you?
Wait, is someone else investigating the lynching?
I'm pretty sure I didn't.
No, not you. Some more muscular type.
And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman?
The lieutenant takes out his little blue notebook and writes something down.
Last week? I don't know. Look.
Looks around the courtyard again. Old patio chairs and dead house plants litter the scene.
He's an actor declaiming a soliloquy. See how you hang on his every word?
You didn't answer the question. What were you doing last Sunday?
I had a friend over.
What kind of friend?
It was my Sunday friend.
A Sunday friend.
What's your friend's real name? Did you see something?
He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette. In the neighboring windows, you can see faint reflections of his silhouette, all from different angles. Someone hides behind a curtain. Those windows have eyes, and those eyes are watching, spying on you three.
I need to get inside the apartment building. Can you help me?
Help you? No, sorry, gendarme.
Alright, we'll talk
I have...
later.
No. We won't.
He takes one last drag of the cigarette before stubbing it out on the balcony.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
Convince him to stay.
This isn't the place or time for questions. Who knows who might be watching from the distance, hidden behind the curtains.
Hey, listen, lower your voice. I'm just trying to make things okay again. Can we meet somewhere else?
For a moment, the man on the balcony seems almost vulnerable. Something moves in the depths of his feline eyes. Compassion and a hint of understanding.
I am sorry, but I really don't have the information you're looking for.
His voice is soft and deliberate. With a flick of his wrist, he sends the cigarette butt sailing over the railing.
But, hold on. What's that? For a split second, his hand lingers, as though gesturing towards a stone placed right next to the front door. It's a sign.
Good luck with the investigation.
He's gone.
We should run after him, see where he went.
No point in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to us, then he'll know how to hide himself.
So we just give up?
He could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. Either way, we need to look into that muscular type who's asking about our case. He did leave us a sign. Did you see that? He wanted to draw our attention to that stone right over there.
The lieutenant nods towards a small rock on a soggy patch of grass.
If we find a way inside the building, we can ask around for his apartment.
Right, let's do it.
A stone, like any other, lying in a whirl of sleet and mud.
Turn it over.
There's a key beneath it, rusty from the dirt.
This must be for the front door. Pity it doesn't have the apartment number on it. This building has many apartments and the man can be in any of them.
How are we gonna find the right one?
We'll just have to go in and see.
Put the stone back, please. The rag box full of cigarette butts and electric wires. This box is filled with cleaning chemicals, smells of laundry detergent. Eviction notices and missing pets are plastered on top of each other. Someone's drawn a 5-pointed star on the board.
That isn't just a 5-pointed star. It's an inverted white pentagram cradled in a wreath of antlers. The iconography of communism, in other words.
Look out, Kim, there are communists around here.
I'll keep my armistice handy, detective.
He doesn't actually reach for his gun.
Inspect the symbol closer.
The star and antlers was developed in the 6th decade of the last century and quickly adopted by Mazov and the communards during the revolution. Even today, half a century after, the star and antlers retains the ability to evoke hope, disappointment, and fear in equal measure.
Why is the star upside down?
To symbolize the toppling of the old order. Also, some social democrats were already using it.
Why white?
Because white is the color of peace.
What does it evoke in me? Finished thought.
You see noble aims, but also mountains upon mountains of corpses. They should have taken a more measured approach. Also, you're really smart. The price of idealism, unrestrained by humanism. Never again. This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, number 11. No reply.
Examine the padlock.
It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters would make short work of it.
Time for a little snip-snip. Do answers.
You seem committed to it, so go on.
Use the chain cutters to cut through the padlock.
What are you doing? You're trying to cut the body of the lock with the chain cutters, and it's really not working.
I believe it's the shackle you mean to cut, Detective.
Don't you think that's what I'm trying to do?
Perhaps you should give it another go.
This door has been closed with a padlock. The chalk. What are you doing? You're trying to cut the body of the lock with the chain cutters, and it's really not working.
I believe it's the shackle you mean to cut, Detective. Perhaps you should give it another go.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk drawer.
The door number 9 is locked.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10.
No.
The walking stops abruptly, but no one comes to the door. You can feel tension on the other side. A poor communard, from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
As time the steps come closer. Who is this? Demands a female voice, wary and tense. This is the police. Open up.
Do I have to open the door?
You hear the clacking of heels again as the other side walks right up to the door. Her tone is now getting a defensive edge.
Do you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant.
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment.
Later then, entering this door seems a physical challenge. It's generally easier to do things if you have literally any reason.
Yes. Indeed. Volume 8, their mailbox is overflowing. Graffito says, a firing squad for the rich.
Give me a moment.
An elderly woman is leaning on her broom, her knuckles white as bone. She seems to be having difficulty breathing.
The cold never does any good for my bronchitis.
She sneezes into a dirty handkerchief. Are you alright? Should I call a doctor?
I'm fine. Fine. Don't you worry about me.
She starts coughing, red spots appearing on her cheeks.
Now, what do you want from me, policeman?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residence.
Who are you?
I'm no one. Just an old woman who cleans these hallways.
Do you live here?
If you can call it living. I have a little room upstairs right next to the coal room.
She spits on the floor before wiping it off with a broom.
It's barely bigger than a closet. But I don't complain, no. I have my bed and my aching bones to keep me company. And that's all I need from this world.
And all she gets, too. The coastal wind beats down hard on the coal room door outside. Splashes of waves make the balcony slippery. She hasn't spoken to anyone for a while. Even her sentences feel rusty.
I'm looking for a young male in his mid-20s, dark hair, skinny build, a smoker on the balcony.
Yes, yes. I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right?
She looks at the other end of the hallway.
What's he in trouble for?
No trouble, I just want to talk to him. Do you know where he lives?
Talk?
The cleaning lady starts laughing, but it turns into a violent coughing spasm. She squeezes her broom, trying to catch her breath.
What was so funny about that?
He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there. He's usually home in the evening.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony. See if he's home.
I'm looking for Billy Machine. Do you know where she lives?
It's about Victor, isn't it? It's always about Victor with her. You'll find the Maisons in apartment 20 upstairs. It's one of those doors on the balcony.
I have a few questions about those apartments.
Ask away, policeman.
Is one of the residents on a vacation? Their mailbox is overflowing.
People come and go. I don't keep an eye on everyone.
They probably just moved or died.
Who lives in
Hopefully
apartment 10?
somewhere.
No one lives there. It's been empty for months.
But I talked to someone through the door.
Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in there.
She pauses, eyeing the hallway.
Maybe it's those countercultural people again. Breaking into a house like it's a public space. You're a policeman. Be good and take a look, will you?
Sure, I'll go see what I can find.
Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. You know, always littering the hallways with trinkets and empty beer cans.
Who lives behind the padlocked door?
Oh, that one is a scientist. A future scholar.
Suddenly, the old lady's face is beaming.
I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. I always tell them to study.
Astrology?
Something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall.
You mean the star and antlers? I think that's a symbol of communism.
A symbol of what and how?
Communism, you know, like in the World Revolution?
Never heard of it.
What can you tell me about Cindy?
The artiste? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She ruins the walls faster than I can clean them. Still...
She leans on her broom.
She leaves an old lady to her business. More than I can say for others.
That's all, thanks.
She mumbles some kind of a response, then hacks something into her handkerchief.
Thanks, I'm off.
Ooh, the piggies have learned how to saunter up staircases. I didn't think you could do that with hooves. But here you are.
The cops don't like closed doors, unreachable purchases, or people having high ground on us.
Yeah, you got me now. The dynamic between us has completely changed.
She crosses her arms. Here's later, Cindy. I think she has a good ass. Okay. Someone's been sleeping here recently. Cindy? Enough cold to last for several winters. Smells of chemicals. Oh, fuck.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural? Ooh. Not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner.
Would you have a real home?
Does anyone in a city like this?
It's not the nicest place, but I guess it'll have to do.
It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Like me. Right now, I'm doing nothing at all.
Really? Remind me.
Yes. I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me. But somehow, it never happens.
Cool, I have other questions.
Shoot, Piggy.
Above, Torp slept in the window. Forgotten hammers and nails rust. door is locked. You can't get in. The sheriff knew someone lives back here. A note reads, foreclosed by Martinez Realty Associates.
A shift in temperature. The air chills around you. Dust settles on the stony floor.
Rub your sides for one.
A former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and frozen, with temperatures falling down to -20 degrees Celsius.
Look around yourself.
It's clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls. A standard HB graphite pencil has fallen off a three-legged stool in the middle of the room. She had an eye for beauty.
Her face
is red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers, clasping the plan. Traces of sadness are visible in her expression.
The plan.
Faint pencil lines on paper depict the same place, but a missing eastern wall connects the room with the neighboring apartment. Ideas for arranging the furniture have been jotted down.
Shiver, finished thought. The sea below is cold and winter gray. Grocery list on the table checks.
What happened here?
We can't foreclose on an apartment with a hole in it.
It will still be accessible through the apartment next to it. That one didn't have a door. Sadly, nothing of great value remains here.
There's always a little something in the fridge.
Indeed. You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10.
This apartment is supposed to be empty. Did you break in here?
Excuse me? Of course not.
Scare them. Suspected of some big crime. There's no sweet talking your way in there. Be official. You have plenty of reason to enter.
I don't need a warrant if I suspect there's been a break-in.
Oh, come on.
There's a pause before you hear the door being unlocked.
Well, that was easy.
That was smart.
The lieutenant says, nodding towards the unlocked door. Black monk straps.
The luxury of fine things. Just look at those black monk straps. After spending an entire day hustling, who's to say that you didn't deserve a pair of ridiculously expensive shoes on your tired feet?
You're right. Beautiful things do make people happy.
Beautiful things give you a rush. It's power. Crafting your style, draping your flesh in silk and leather, deciding how to present yourself to the world. Remember, when they come to take it away from you, you worked for those shoes. Whether you like it or not, wearing these shoes has made you more liberal. Ultra-liberal. They're either a gateway drug or a booster pack to get you deeper into free market ideology.
Looks like a fine mattress.
Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right to be here. The keys, see?
She jingles a set of keys in her hand.
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too?
Inspect the passport.
It feels flimsy in hand, with the words Revachol Zone of Control written under a nondescript municipal logo. There's a picture of her with shorter hair inside, along with all her personal details.
Nice haircut, and back the passport.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? I need to be back in Midtown in an hour.
What are you doing here?
I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place.
Reprehensible. Who lived here?
It was some kind of a moribund old man who used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make rent.
She stops hesitating.
But that was months ago. Anyway, was there anything you wanted, or is that it? I'm in a hurry.
Who lived in the foreclosed apartment down the hallway?
Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3. We closed the apartment and planned on auctioning off the valuables, but... And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighboring door. And there's a hole in the wall. A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone. Just like that.
She snaps her fingers.
The sum must have been puny.
So wait, what happened with the wall?
Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea how we're going to find the time or resources to fix it. Both apartments are now unrentable. Both.
That's all, thank you.
Of course.
She replies with a smile, but her eyes remain glazed over. She's been waiting for you to leave.
Give me a moment.
I didn't find any counterculture people in apartment 10. It was just a real estate agent setting up the room for new tenants.
I see. I hope some good people are finally going to move in. This place needs them.
I'm sure anything will be fine. This apartment building needs a slow change. Interceptable so.
Yes. Well. I hope they're good people.
Yes, well. She doesn't know. Yeah, okay. Her coughs and repeats.
Your statements are too vague. This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, number 11.
An old shoe rack, boots and sneakers, and old slippers. Apartment 12, a loud rumbling snore comes from within. The snoring is scary somehow. You should leave. The shower curtains are covered in some sort of slime. How nice. These shoots come in 3 different sizes.
A weathered brown door. The number reads 20. The lieutenant motions to you to go ahead and knock. This is the door. You already know it's the right door. This is going to be so hard.
Knock.
Hello? Who is it?
Is this Billy Michon's home? This is the police. Please open the door.
The police? A moment, please give us a moment.
You hear shuffling inside.
Come in, the door is open.
newspaper clippings. Posters of contemporary pop stars adorn windows. The clock is ticking away with an odd cheerfulness. This ticking makes you anxious, rings hollow in the room. Textbook for high school mathematics, trigonometry mostly. Some leftovers kept warm on the stove. Can't they afford curtains?
It's you from the book stand. Did you come to bring my cockatoo back?
She smiles nervously before the smile vanishes from her face.
I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink? Tea? Lemonade? We're out of coffee.
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief for now. You're on your own here.
I'm not really here for the tea.
Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again? I can come pick him up in the station if that's what.
She stops, her eyes trying to read answers from her face.
No, this is something much worse. Is he in a hospital? How bad is it?
How about some small talk before you break the news?
So how have you been?
How have I been? You're not here to discuss me. What is this about, officer?
Can't write a scene without knowing the actors. Ask more. Get comfortable around her.
You live here with Victor, your husband, right?
It's me, Victor, and the kids here. We have 2 daughters, Jenny and Jolie.
Look around, and where is everybody? I don't see anyone home.
The girls are staying at their friend's place tonight. And Victor is out.
He still hasn't come home?
No. Why? Do you have any news?
To your knowledge, did he make it to the library?
No. I guess I'll find out when he decides to come back home.
She looks at the front door.
It shouldn't be long from now. He's never gone for more than a few days.
Remember again, what was he wearing when he saw me?
His old leather jacket.
Can you describe it?
It's just your average brown leather jacket, but he bought it as a teenager, so...
What about the inner lining?
Yes. The lining is hand-sewn. It's blue. I tried to make the thing more weatherproof since he's running around with it in the middle of winter.
There's something else I have to tell you.
She folds her hands across her chest. Here it comes.
Oops, too much water. Empathy. Tell her about the dead body.
I don't want to.
But we have to.
I don't want to do this. Force yourself. Slap yourself.
Slap your cheek. Stupid, stupid. Just say it.
Say what?
She looks frightened.
Officer.
The lieutenant warns you.
Too late. You ruined it. Just say it now.
Your husband's dead.
Excuse me? What? What did you say?
She blinks.
She's in pain. She's in so much pain. And so are you. Your chest is burning.
We are very sorry to inform you, but your husband, Victor Méjean, was found dead this morning on the Martinez boardwalk.
Oh.
She touches her neck, eyes pale, like pearls in seawater.
Oh. But he was just...
She looks at the kitchen table, where 2 cigarette butts are still in the tray.
He was just here, alive.
I understand that this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you if you have any questions. We are very sorry for your loss, man.
What happened to him? Tell me.
He fell and smashed his head against the bench.
And you just found him there? lying in the cold.
She shakes her head.
How long had he been there?
It's hard to say.
She doesn't reply. Her eyes well up with tears as she struggles to keep it together.
Is there anyone we could call for you? A friend, a family member, someone who could be here for you?
No. I just need to tell my girls.
The air gets sucked out of her lungs. So
it burns like acid.
God, should I call them? Should I tell them to come home?
Yes.
All right. I'll call them.
She breathes in again, trying to steady herself.
Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him?
He's in the morgue.
And who should I contact?
He was taken to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number, in case you want to contact him earlier.
He hands her a leaflet with the morgue's contact information.
Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you?
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still a bit...
Alright, that's it then.
Again, if there's anything we could do for you, then don't hesitate to call the RCM, ma'am.
She just nods, distant and inconsolable. The bed springs rattle beneath her as she begins to shake. These are her last reserves of strength. Her muscles will give in soon to a scream.
I'll take it from here. Thank you.
She points at the front door, breathing fast now, holding herself.
We should
down.
step outside and talk.
Set the library card by her. Leave the room.
So, the death notification.
The lieutenant says as soon as you've left the apartment.
He's avoiding your gaze. This is the time to say how sorry you are about how things went.
I'm sorry, I know I fucked up.
It's alright. Don't worry about it.
His eyes wander over the street.
I'll call the station when we're finished with the day, and let them know the name of the deceased.
What about Billy and her kids?
There's not much we can do for them anymore, I'm afraid.
They have to. It's not your place to live their lives.
That's it?
That's it. We should get back to our case. There's nothing more we can do here.
Right, let's try to get back to it then.
And, officer, I've seen worse. This wasn't the worst I've seen, okay? Now let's go.
I really have, he thinks. She was strong. She made it easy for us.
Someone's growing rosemary, thyme, and the cactus.
This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Someone here really values their security. Number 28. This is where the cleaning lady said the smoker on the balcony lives.
Let's see if anyone's home. Knock on the door.
No one answers.
Looks like the young man we are looking for isn't home. I think our best chance to catch him is in the evening.
He looks around, taking in the cold spring air.
We should return tomorrow after we have finished with our day's work. How about 9 p.m.? Sound good?
What do you mean?
The smoker on the balcony. This is why we're here, right? He might know something about the murder. So tomorrow 9 p.m.?
Why tomorrow?
Suddenly, he's a little worried about your memory. Don't worry. It's mostly all still here. You can remember things. You got this.
Sounds good. Tomorrow, 21.
Tomorrow, 9 p.m., right here. Apartment number 28. Good, let's go.
Remember, tomorrow.
This is the door to apartment 29. Shoot up.
Yes?
the splattering of bullets hit bullet holes on this wall.
The spread pattern of these bullet holes makes your chest ache. Your breath grows heavier. More old bullet holes. Half a century at least. From the Revolution.
What's with all these bullet holes? I've seen a lot of them already.
Remnants from the Revolution. These are over half a century old.
So no crime has happened here.
Perhaps a crime of a sort ages ago. But no, these do not warrant an investigation.
Okay, but what can you tell me about the Revolution?
Not much. I don't have a fresh perspective on it. Should we go?
Okay, that's gonna be it for now. I'll catch you guys later.